Now, Meta has issued a total ban on Russian state media outlets, citing foreign influence activity and claiming the outlets have used deceptive tactics to carry out covert influence operations online. Now, Meta's platforms include Facebook and Instagram. The ban on outlets like Russian state broadcaster RT and Russia Seguridnya comes after the US Justice Department charged RT employees with money laundering and producing content to influence the US presidential elections. Well, Russia, of course, has reacted angrily. Here's Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov.
Meta is discrediting itself with these actions. Such selective actions against Russian media are unacceptable. We have an extremely negative attitude towards this. And this, of course, complicates the prospects for normalizing our relations with Meta.
Let's look at this with Justin Sherman. He's CEO of Global Cyber Strategies and non-resident senior fellow at the Atlantic Council. He joins us from Washington, D.C. Welcome to DW. Tell us more about what Meta says these companies have been doing.
Meta made this decision pretty much for one simple reason, which is that the U.S. government just a few days ago now came out and sanctioned RT for a variety of information warfare and other activities, as it described it, across the United States and elsewhere to spread propaganda and disinformation. And related to that, as we heard, the State Department has essentially said that RT is like an arm, which I agree with this, of the Russian intelligence services. And so, it's no shocker that Meta is not exactly the leading human rights organization, right? They sort of are even more conservative in protecting speech and other things than many of the other apps. And so it was only this sanctioning that has now prompted Meta to essentially kick RT, along with a variety of other Russian propaganda outlets, off of its platform and its distribution ecosystem.
I don't understand. Haven't we always just presumed that Russian state media outlets were propagandists and essentially up to no good?
Well, we certainly could go back a long while with that, right, to Pravda, or truth, as it translates in the Soviet Union. So there has been a long history, even within the Putin regime, of controlling news outlets, of manipulating them for state purposes, and RT has been at the forefront of parroting lies about everything from COVID to the war on Ukraine. And so, yes, it has been well known for a long time what RT is doing. The difference here is that in 2014, Ukraine banned RT. Germany and other countries have since banned RT. Google and Apple removed a bunch of RT applications following Russia's full-on invasion of Ukraine in Feb 2022. So we're seeing this sort of trend here where Meta, despite, as you said, the obviousness of RT's propaganda, has taken 2.5 years since this full-on war to finally take down this disinformation mechanism.
Regardless of what Dmitry Peskov says there, does Russia care what Facebook or Instagram, that their outlets have been banned on these platforms? After all, they're banned in Russia.
Exactly. And so I was sort of laughing at the lovely Russian officials' comments there. They do and they don't care. So the reason they do care is because Facebook has left RT up, which has enabled the spread of RT propaganda and propaganda from these other couple outlets. RT is the most prominent, but it's allowed the Russian government to spread lies on Facebook and Instagram and other places, regardless of whether or not people in Russia are legally permitted to access those services. So the Russians do care that they've lost a vector for spreading their propaganda and for doing that effectively through major online services. At the same time, the Russian government doesn't care because, as you noted, they have already banned Meta products in Russia. The Russian government also has designated Meta as a terrorist organization in Russia. And one might sort of laugh at that, but that's legitimate in Russia's eyes for a couple of reasons. One is that they genuinely see these Western platforms as tools of Western governments, as tools of Berlin, as tools of Washington. And so they really have a lot of fear around Facebook. So this plays into what Russia already thinks, right? They probably are not surprised in the Kremlin that Meta has done this. They will use this as further confirmation bias of the fact that online media is essentially...
Yeah, well, everybody hates us and we don't care, as the chants once went. Do we expect there to be any sort of reaction beyond bluster to this?
It's hard to say. I don't particularly think so directly at Meta, right? As I said, they've already designated Meta a terrorist organization, and they've already banned access in Russia to Facebook and Instagram. Now, thankfully, that doesn't completely work, but it has worked for enough people that it's very harmful. So I don't think we'll see more against Meta, but I do think this is going to increase Russia's how vocal they are about Western media and about Western social media platforms. And I also think it's going to lead to more restrictions at home, because the more that the Kremlin worries about people accessing Facebook, the more they're going to clamp down.
All right, thanks for guiding us through that, Justin. Justin Sherman from Global Cyber Strategies. Thank you so much.
Thank you.